You have probably heard the slogan, "Eat the rich." It's common in the disenfranchised corners of the internet, and today we'll see if it really works. Very quick note, this is a parody. Bacon Baron does not endorse cannibalism or harming the wealthy in any way. This is what we need to know. 1. How many calories one rich person contains? 2. The number of rich people there are, and the amount of calories they yield together. 3. How many working class heroes there are, and how many calories they need. Let's begin. First, calories per rich person. This is actually pretty hard to calculate because it depends on someone's height, weight, and body composition. So I'm going off averages. Estimates seem to vary a bit. They range from about 125,000 to 144,000. Let's call it 135,000 calories for an average adult human. I'm going to assume the average rich person contains the same amount of calories as the average population, because rich people come in all shapes and sizes, just as we do. Next step. How many rich people are there? Let's continue with 3 scenarios. We'll check the caloric yield of all USA billionaires, the 1% richest people in the USA, the 10% richest people in the USA. According to the Wall Street Journal, there are 1,135 billionaires in the USA. So, 1,135 times 135,000 gives us 153,225,000 calories for the billionaires. There's about 342 million people living in the USA, according to the USA Census Bureau. So, there are 3.42 million people in the 1% club. This gives us about 461,700,000,000 calories, and 34.2 million people in the 10% club, worth about 4,617,000,000,000 calories. Next step, how many calories does an average person need? Again, lots of variation here. If you're a couch potato, you don't need that much energy. If you're a hard-working laborer, you need to eat big.
You gotta eat big to get big.
Let's pull up a calorie calculator. I'll use the numbers of the average American male and the average American female, taken from the website of the CDC and the BLS. Now, since we are talking about the proletariat sweating away in factories, I will select moderate exercise. That gives us 2,784 calories per day for the men and 2,200 for the women. So the average person needs about 2,492 calories per day. Now, how many people does a rich person serve? We'll start with the simplest one. How many people can feed off one rich person for one full day? That's 135,000 divided by 2,492. So, one rich person can feed about 54 people for one day. 7 people could survive on one rich person for a week. Our American billionaires could feed 61,486 people for a day and 8,783 people for a week. The 1% richest Americans could feed 185,272,873 people for a day and 26,467,553 people for a week. The richest 10% of Americans could feed 1,852,728,731 for a day and 264,675,533 for a week. So, at most we can keep about 265 million bellies full for about a week. Then we have to find another source of sustenance again. Maybe the next 10%?